I learnt in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He's very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honour on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of a lamb the feats of a lion. He hath indeed bettered expectation than you expected me to tell you how.
He hath an uncle here in Messina, will be very much glad of it.
I already delivered him letters, and there appears much joy in him, so much joy that could not show itself modest enough without a badge of bitterness.
I pray you, hath Signor Montanto returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There is none in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returning as pleasant as ever he was.
I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promised to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much, but he'll be meat with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done a good service in these wars.
You had musty victual, and he hath hoped to eat it. He is a valiant trencherman, he hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with 1, so that he have enough to keep himself warm. Who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord! He will hang upon him like a disease! He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. If he have caught the Benedict, it will cost him £1,000 ere he be cured.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Oh, Don Pedro's approached.
Good Signor Leonardo, are you come to meet your trouble? The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. The trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter?
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict, no. For then were you but a child.
You haven't fooled Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man. Truly, the lady fathers herself. And be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonardo be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders, for all Messina's like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What? My dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she hath such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat, but it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted, and I would I could find it in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
Oh, a dear happiness to women. They would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood I'm of your humor for that. I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other may escape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make you worse unto such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot, teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, but keep your way in God's name. I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
Well, that is the sum of all. Leonardo, Signor Claudio and Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonardo, hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at the least a month.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please it your grace, lead on.
Your hand, Leonardo, we go together.
Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonardo?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do for my simple true judgment, or would you have me speak after my custom as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee, speak in sober judgment.
Why, methinks she's too little for a great praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too low for a high praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome, and being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I'm in sport. I pray thee, tell me how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into, but speak you this with a sad brow.
She's the sweet, in mine eye, she's the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see it without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and were she not possessed with a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Is it come to this? Hath not the world one man, but will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Look, Don Pedro is come to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you follow not to Leonardo's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on my allegiance.
You see, Claudio, I can be as secret as a dumb man, I would have you think so, but on my allegiance, he is in love. With who? Now that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonardo's short daughter.
Amen if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she would be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
I never could maintain his part, but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me. I thank her. That's brought me up. I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I will have a recheat winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. Because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any, I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for the which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee ere I die look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove that ever I lose more blood than I will get again with drinking, pick out mine eyes with the ballad maker's pen, and hang me up at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
As time shall try. In time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns and set them in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted, and in such great letters as they write, here is good horse to hire, they may signify under my sign, here you may see Benedict, the married man.
Well, you will temporize with the hours. In the meantime, Signor Benedict, repair to Leonardo's. Commend me to him and tell him I will not fail him for supper, for indeed he hath made great preparation.
I have almost matter enough in me for such an embassage, and so I commit you.
The tuition of God from my house, if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend, Benedict.
Nay, mock not, ere you flout old ends any further, examine your conscience, and so I leave you.
My liege, your highness may now do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonardo any son, my lord?
No child but Hero, she's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye. I liked, but I had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. Now I am returned, and those war thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is. saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou wilt be like a lover presently, and tire the hearer with a book of words. If thou dost love fair hero, cherish it, and I shall break with her and with her father, and thou shalt have her.
How sweetly you do minister to love that knows love's grief by his complexion. Yet, lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have it salve a longer treatise.
I know. We shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise and tell fair hero that I am Claudio, and in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then to her father will I break, and the conclusion is she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
What the good ear, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jests, tend on no man's business, and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this till you may do so without controlment. You have, as of late, stood out against your brother, who hath taken you newly into his grace, where it is impossible that you should take true root but by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace, and it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering, honest man, it must not be denied, but I am a plain-dealing villain. Let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here? What news, Borachio?
Came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by King Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Marry, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio?
And he.
Proper squire. Which way looks he?
Marry, on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
A very forward march chick. How came you to this?
Being entertained for a perfumer as I was smoking a musty room, comes to me the prince and Claudio in sad conference. I went me behind the arras, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and then, having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You're both sure and will assist me?
To the death, my lord.
Come, let us to the great supper. Their cheer is the greater that I am subdued. Would the cook were of my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I'm heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedict. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
Then, half Signor Benedict's face in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man would win any woman in the world, if he could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband if thou be so too shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way, for it says God sends a cursed cow short horns, but to a cow too cursed, he sends none.
So by being too cursed, God will send you no horns.
Just, if he send me no husband, for the which blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Oh Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I'd rather lie in the woolen.
You may light on a husband that hath no beard.
What should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I'm not for him. Therefore, I will even take sixpence in earnest of the bear herd, and lead his apes into hell.
Well then, go you into hell?
No, but to the gate. And there will the devil meet me like an old cuckold with horns on his head and say, "Get you to heaven, Beatrice, get you to heaven. Here's no place for you maids." So deliver I up my apes and away to St. Peter for the heavens. He shows me where the bachelors sit, and there live we as merry as the day is long.
Well, niece, I hope you will be ruled by your father.
Yes, faith, it is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, "Father, as it please you." But for all that, cousin, make sure he's a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, "Father, as it please me."
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering, brother. Make good room.
Because I heard you say, and it's all because I walked your way. And I heard you say, I heard you say, and I heard you say, I heard you say, and I heard you say, I heard you say, I heard you say, I heard you say, and I heard you say, I heard you say, and I heard you say, and I heard you say, 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 and I heard you say. Just right, you got to sit tight, close your eyes, and let your head roll down, get your feet up off the ground, and let your head roll down, get your feet up off the ground.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I'm yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company.
I may say so when I please.
And when please you to say so?
When I like your favor, for God defend the lute should be like the case.
So you came around, and now my life's on the bounce. Just like that.
Well, I would you did like me.
So would not I for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better. The hearers may cry, Amen.
God, match me with a good dancer,
Amen.
and keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
No more words. The clerk has answered.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are.
Not now.
That I was disdainful, and that I had my good wit out of the 100 merry tales. Well, this was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester. A very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers them, and then they laugh at him and beat him. I'm sure he is in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which, peradventure not marked or not laughed at, strikes him into melancholy. And then there's a partridge wing saved, for the fool will eat no supper that night. We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I shall leave them next turning.
Sometimes I feel like throwing my hands up in the air. I know I can count on you. Sometimes I feel like saying, Lord,
Are not you Signor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I, too, and he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus answer I, name of Benedict, yet hear these ill news with ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so, the prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agents, for beauty is a witch, against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This is an accident of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Therefore, farewell, Hero.
Count Claudio.
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow. About your own business, County. Of what fashion will you wear the garland? About your neck like a usurer's chain, or under your arm like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
Wish him joy of her.
Why, that's spoken like an honest drover, so they sell bullocks, but did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you, leave me.
Now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
Will that be, I'll leave you.
Alas, poor fool, you will creep into the sedges.
Now, Senor, where's the Count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here melancholy as a lodge in a warren, and I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady.
Ooh, the Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel with you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh. She misused me past the endurance of a block. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance that I stood like a man at a mark with the whole army shooting at me. She speaks poniards, and every word stabbed were her breath. As terrible as her terminations, she would infect to the North Star. There were no living near her. I would not marry her were she endowed with all Adam had left him before he transgressed. I would to God some scholar would conjure her, for certainly while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary, and people sin upon purpose because they would go thither. So indeed, all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Well, look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the Antipodes that you can devise to send me on, rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. Your grace hath no employment for me.
None but to desire your good company.
Oh God, sir, here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for his single one. Marry, once before he wanted of me with false dice. Therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools. I have brought you Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord?
How then, sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad nor sick nor merry nor well, but civil Count, civil as an orange and something of that jealous complexion.
In faith, lady, I think your blazon to be true, though if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name. Fair hero is won. I broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and all grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give myself to you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin, or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss and let him not speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord, I think it, poor fool, that keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he's in her heart.
So she doth, cousin.
Good Lord, for alliance. Thus goes everyone to the world but I am sunburnt. I may sit in a corner and cry, hi-ho for husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I had rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace now a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
Oh, my lord, unless I may have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace's pardon. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you, for out of question you were born in a merry hour.
No, sure, my lord. My mother cried. But then there was a star danced, and under that was I born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry you mercy, uncle, by your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad, but when she sleeps. And not ever sad then, for I've heard my daughter say she hath often dreamt of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
And she cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord, my lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
County Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Married tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence a just 7 night, and a time too brief too to have all things answer my mind.
Come, you shake your head at so long a breathing, but I warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, and I doubt not but to fashion it. If you three will but minister such assistance as I shall give thee direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopefullest husband that I know. I, with your 2 helps, will so practice on Benedict that in despite of his quick wit and queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. Go in with me and I'll tell you my drift.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonardo.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I remember I told your lordship a year since how much I am in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out of her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. And go you to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation you mightily hold up, to a contaminated stale such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero and kill Leonardo. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them I will endeavor anything.
Go then, find me a meat hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal to them both that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her lady's chamber window. Hear me call Margaret Hero, hear Margaret term me Claudio, and bring them to see this, the very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime, I will so fashion the matter that the Lady Hero shall be absent, and there shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty, that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparation overthrown.
I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in the accusation, my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces come in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich shall she be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of whatever color it please God. The Prince and Monsieur Love, I will hide me in the arbor.
Come, shall we hear this music?
Yea, my good lord, how still the evening is hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See you where Benedict hath hid himself?
Oh, very well, my lord.
Come, Balthazar, we'll hear that song again.
Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Men were deceivers ever. One foot in sea and one on shore, to one thing constant never. Then sigh not so, but let them go. Be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey nani nani. Sing no more ditties, sing no more of dumb so dull and heavy. The fraud of men was ever so, since summer first was leavy. Then sigh not so, but let them go. Be you blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey nani nani.
By my troth, a good song.
And an ill singer, my lord.
No, thou singest well enough for a shift. I pray thee, get us some excellent music, for we would have it tomorrow night at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so, farewell. Come hither, Leonardo. What was it you told me of today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedict?
Oh, aye! Stalk on, the foul sits. I never thought that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither, but most wonderful that she should dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in outward behavior ever seemed to abhor.
Is it possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I know not what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection, it is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Oh God, counterfeit. There was never counterfeit of passion so near the life of passion.
How, I pray you? You amaze me. I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it, my lord, especially against Benedick.
I think this was a gull that the white-bearded fellow speaks it. Knavery cannot sure hide himself in such reverence.
He hath taken the infection. Hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedick?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis true indeed. So your daughter says, shall I, says she, that have so often countered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
This says she now when she is beginning to write to him, for she is up 20 times a night, and there she sits in her smock till she hath writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
Oh, that when she had writ and was reading it over, she found Benedick and Beatrice between the sheets.
That.
Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at herself that she should write to one, be so immodest, to one she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he writ to me. Yea, though I love him, I should.
And down on her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses, oh sweet Benedick. God give me patience.
She doth indeed. My daughter says so. And the ecstasy hath so much overborne her that my daughter is sometimes afeared she will do a desperate outrage to herself. 'Tis very true.
It were good that Benedick knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? Who would but make a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse?
And he should, it were an alms to hang him. For out of all question, she is a sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she's exceeding wise.
In everything but in loving Benedick.
Ooh. Hero thinks surely she will die. For she says she will die if you love her not, and she will die ere she make her love known. And she says she will die if you woo her rather than she will be one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. If she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it. For the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath a good outward happiness.
By God, and in my mind, very wise.
He doth indeed show some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go find Benedick and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we shall hear more of it by your daughter. In the meantime, let it cool the while. I love Benedick well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If you do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectations.
Let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry. Let us send her to call him in to dinner.
This can be no trick. Their conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me? Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, she will rather die than give any outward sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'tis a truth, I can bear them witness, and virtuous, 'tis so I cannot reprove it, and wise, but for loving me, by my troth, it will be no addition to her wit, nor no great argument for folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me, because I have railed so long against marriage, but doth not the appetite alter? When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I would live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank thee for thy pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than it takes pains for you to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message?
Yea, just so much as you may take up on a knife's point and choke a daw withal. You have no stomach, senor? Very well.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. That's as much to say, any pains that I take for you is as easy as thanks. If I do not take pity of her, I am a villain. I will go get her picture.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlor. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the prince and Claudio. Whisper her ear and tell her I and Ursula walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardst us, and bid her steal into the pleached bower. There will she hide her to listen our propose. This is thy office. Bear thee well in it, and leave us alone.
I'll make her come, I warrant you, presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, our talk must only be of Benedick. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedick is sick in love with Beatrice. Now begin, for look where Beatrice like a lapwing runs close by the ground to hear our conference.
Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
Then go we near her, that her ear lose nothing of the false sweet bait that we lay for it. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedick loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new trothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedick, to wish him wrestle with affection, and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full, as fortunate a bed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
O God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape, nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so, and therefore certainly it were not good she knew his love, lest she make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw man, how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured, but she would spell him backward. If fair-faced, she would swear the gentleman should be her sister. If black, why, nature, drawing of an antic, made a foul blot. If tall, a lance, ill-headed. If low, an agate, very vilely cut. If speaking, why, a vein, blown with all winds. If silent, why, a block, moved with none. So turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice is, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would laugh me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedick, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly. It were a better death than die with mocks. which is as bad as die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, rather I will go to Benedick and counsel him to fight against his passions. And truly, I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Ah, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it ere he had it. When he married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
She's limed, I warrant you. We've caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, and some with traps.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt farewell, and maiden pride adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedick, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate, then go I toward Aragon.
I'll bring you thither if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a soil in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedick for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot, he is all mirth. He hath twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstring, and the little hangman dare not shoot at him. He has a heart as strong as a bell, and his tongue is the clapper, for what his heart thinks his tongue speaks.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you are sadder.
I hope you be in love.
Hang him, truant. There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
Draw it.
Hang it.
You must hang it first and draw it afterwards.
What? Sigh for the toothache?
Where is but a humor or a worm?
Well, any man can master a grief, but he that has it.
Yet say I, he's in love.
Hath any man seen him at the barber's?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him, and the old ornament of his cheek hath stuffed tennis balls.
Indeed, he looks younger than he did by the loss of a beard.
Nay, he rubs himself with civet. Can you smell him out by that?
That's as much as to say the sweet youth's in love.
The greatest note of it is his melancholy.
And when does he want to wash his face?
Yea, or to paint himself. Conclude, he is in love.
No, but I know who loves him.
That would I know too, I warrant, one that knows him not.
Yes, and his ill conditions. And yet, dies for him.
Oh, she will be buried with her face upward.
Yeah. This is no charm for the toothache. Old Signor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak with you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
For my life to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. Hero and Margaret have by this played their parts with Beatrice, and the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good e'en, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you. Yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow?
You know he does.
I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you, discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me by that I now will manifest. I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she has been too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who, Hero?
Even she. Leonato's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal.
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. Go but with me tonight. You shall see her chamber window entered even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her. But it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so.
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I will show you enough. When you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight why I should not marry her, tomorrow in the congregation where I should be wed, there will I shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no farther till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly, but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
Do you be good men and true?
Yea, or else it were pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were punishment too good for them if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think among you the most desertless man to be constable?
George Seacole, sir, for he can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable?
You have. I knew it would be your answer. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man for constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You must comprehend all vagrant men in the prince's name.
Oh. Well, sir.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man, and with such kind of men, the less you meddle or make within them, why, the more is for your honesty.
But if we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office, you may. But I think they that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is, and steal out of your company.
I've been always called a merciful man, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much less a man who hath any honesty in him.
If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still it.
How's the nurse be asleep? Will not hear us?
Why, then, depart in peace, and let the child wake her with crying. For the ewe that will not hear her lamb when it baas will never answer the calf when he bleats.
'Tis very true.
This is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Nay, Our Lady, that I think he cannot.
5 shillings to 1 on't with any man that knows the statutes, they may stay him. Marry, not without the prince be willing, for indeed the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offence to stay a man against his will.
By Our Lady, I think it be so.
Ha! Ha ha! Well, masters, good night. I pray you watch about Signor Leonato's door, for with the wedding being there tomorrow, there's a great coil tonight. Adieu. Be vigilant, I beseech you.
What? Conrad.
Peace, stir not.
Conrad, I say.
Here, man, I'm at thy elbow.
Mass, and my elbow itched. I thought there would a scab follow.
I'll owe thee an answer for that. And now forward with thy tale.
Stand thee close then under this penthouse, for it drizzles rain, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee. Therefore know, I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Should any villainy be so dear?
Let's rather ask if any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones may make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
That shows thou art unconfirmed. Thou knowest that the fashion of a doublet or hat or a cloak is nothing to a man.
Yes, it is apparel?
I mean, the fashion.
Yes. The fashion is fashion?
Tush, I may as well say the fool's the fool. But seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is? Didst thou not hear somebody?
No, 'twas a vein on the house.
Seest thou not, I say, what a deformed thief this fashion is? How giddily he turns about all the hot bloods.
Yes, all this I see, and I see that the fashion wear out more apparel than the man, but thou hast shifted out of thy tale into telling me of the fashion.
Not so, neither. Know then that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the lady Hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leans me out at her mistress' chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. Oh, I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the prince, Claudio, and my master, planted and placed and possessed by my master Don John, so far off in the orchard, this amiable encounter.
I thought that Margaret was Hero.
Oh, 2 of them did, the prince and Claudio, but the devil my master knew she was Margaret. And away went Claudio, enraged, swore he would meet her as he was appointed tomorrow morning at the temple, and there, before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw her night, and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name, stand.
We have here the most dangerous piece of lechery that was ever known in the Commonwealth.
And one deformed is one of them. I know him. He wears a lock.
Never speak. We charge you. We obey you to go with us.
We are like to prove a goodly commodity being taken up of these men's bills.
A commodity in question, I warrant you. Come, we'll obey you.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
I will, lady.
And bid her come hither.
Well.
Troth, I think your other rubato were better.
No, pray thee, good Meg, only this.
By Our Lady, it's not so good, and I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this.
I like the new tire within excellently, if the hair were a thought browner. And the gown's a most rare fashion, if they. I saw the Duchess of Millen's gown that they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say.
By my troughs, but a nightgown in respect of yours. Cloth, o' gold, and cuts, and laced with silver, set with pearls, side sleeves, down sleeves, and skirts around under worn with a bluish tinsel. But for a fine, quaint, graceful, and excellent gown, yours is worth 10 on't.
God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
'Twill be heavier soon, by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee! Art not ashamed?
Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? Is not marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your lord honorable without marriage? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence, a husband. That thinking do not rest true speaking. I'll offend nobody. Is there any harm in the heavier for a husband? None, I think, and it be the right husband and the right wife. Otherwise 'tis light and not heavy. Ask my lady Beatrice else, here she comes.
Good morrow, cuz.
Oh, good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Do you speak in the sick tune?
I'm out of all other tune, methinks.
Claps into light, love. That goes without a burden. Do you sing it, and I'll dance it.
You light a love with your heels, and if your husband have stables enough, you'll see he shall lack no barns.
Oh, illegitimate construction. I scorn that with my heels.
'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. Oh, by my troth, I'm exceeding ill. Hi-ho.
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband.
For the letter that begins them all. Hake.
Well, an you be not turned Turks, there's no more sailing by the Star.
What makes the fool trow?
Nothing, but God send everyone their heart's desires.
These gloves the Count sent me, they are an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin, I cannot smell.
A maid and stuffed? There's goodly catching of cold.
Oh, God help me, God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Ever since you left it, doth not my wit become me rarely?
'Tis not seen enough. You should wear it in your cap. By my troth, I am sick.
Get you some of this distilled Cardus Benedictus and lay it to your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
There thou prick'st her with a thistle.
Benedictus? Why, Benedictus? You have some moral in this Benedictus?
Moral? No, by my troth, I have no moral meaning. I'm a plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I think you are in love. Nay, by Our Lady, I'm not such a fool to list what I think. Well, nor I list not to think what I can, nor indeed I cannot think. If I would think my heart out of thinking that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet Benedict was such another, and now is he become a man. He swore he would never marry, yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be converted, I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedict, Don John, and all the gallants of the town are come to fetch you to church.
Hope to dress me, good cuz, good Meg, good Ursula.
What would you with me, honest neighbour?
Marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a very busy time with me.
Marry, this it is, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, my good friends?
Good man Vergil, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as, God help, I would desire they were, but, in faith, honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living. That is an old man and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous. Palabras, neighbor Vergis.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
Oh, it pleases your worship to say so, but we are the poor duke's officers. But truly, for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all of your worship.
All thy tediousness on me. I would fain know what you have to say.
Marry, sir, our watch a night, accepting your worship's presence, had taken a couple of as errant knaves as any in Messina.
Good old man, sir, he will be talking, as they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. Oh, God help us, it is a world to see. Well said, in faith, neighbor Vergis. Well, God's a good man, and two men ride of a horse, one must ride behind. But an honest soul, sir, by my troth he is, as ever broke bread. But God is to be worshipped, not all men are alike, alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
One word, sir. Our watch, sir, have indeed comprehended two auspicious persons that we would this morning have examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear to you.
It shall be suffigance.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
Go, good partner, go. Get you to Francis Seacole. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the jail. We are now to examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
Oh, we will spare for no wit, I warrant you. Here's that shall drive some of them to a non-com. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail.
Come, Friar Francis, be brief, only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall recount their particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady?
No.
To be married to her. Friar, you come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count?
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, I charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord?
Know you any, Count?
Stand thee by, friar. Father, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonato, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She is but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold, how like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were made by these exterior shows? But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to improve it wanted.
Dear my lord, if you in your own proof have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity.
I know what you would say, that if I had known her, you would say that she did embrace me as a husband and so extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonato, I never did tempt her with word too large.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Oh, out on thee seeming. I will write against thee. You seem to me as Diane in her orb, as chaste as is the bud ere it be blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus or those pampered animals who rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well that he doth speak so wide?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken? Or boy, do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True, oh God.
Leonardo, stand I here? Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face, heroes? Are our eyes our own?
All this is so, but what of this, my lord?
I would move but one question to your daughter, and with that fatherly and kindly power you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so, as thou art my child?
Who was he who talked with you yesternight out at your window betwixt 12 and 1? Now, if you're maid, answer to this!
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why, then you are no maiden. Leonardo, I'm sorry you must hear. Upon my honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed, most like a liberal villain, confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Oh, hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
Why, how now, cousin? Wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light, smother her spirits up.
How doth the lady?
Did I think? Help, uncle. Hero, why, hero? Help. Uncle, Signor Benedict Friar.
O fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
Why, how now, cousin Hero?
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why don't every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero. Do not ope thine eyes. For did I think thou wouldst not quickly die, thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shame, myself would on the rearward of reproaches strike at thy life. Grieved I have but one, who, smirched thus, and mired with infamy, I might have said, no part of it is mine. This shame derives itself from unknown loins. But mine I loved, and mine I praised, and mine that I was proud on. Mine so much that I myself was to myself not mine, valuing of her, why she, oh she, is fallen into a pit of ink, that the wide sea hath drops too few to wash her clean again.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder, I know not what to say.
Oh, on my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not, although until last night I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed. Well, that is stronger maid, which was before barred up with ribs of iron. Would the two princes lie and Claudio lie, who loved her so that speaking of her foulness, washed it with tears? Hence from her, let her die.
Hear me a little, for I have only silent been so long, and given way into this course of fortune by noting of the lady. I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face, 1,000 innocent shames, and in her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn the errors that these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool. Trust not my reading nor my observations. If this sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace that she hath left is that she will not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. Why seekest thou then to cover with excuse that which appears in proper nakedness?
Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
They know that to accuse me, I know of none. If I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. O my father, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature, refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There's some strange suspicion in the princes.
2 of them have the very bent of honor, and if their wisdom seem misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the Bastard, whose spirits toil in frame of villainies.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her. If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here the princes left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on your family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that appertain unto a burial.
What shall become of this? What will this do?
Mary, this well carried shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good. She, dying as it must so be maintained, upon the instant that she is accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. So will it fare with Claudio. Then shall he mourn, and wish that he had not accused her. No, though he thought his accusation true. Let this be so, and doubt not the success.
Signor Leonato, let the friar advise you. And though you know my inwardness and love is very much unto the prince and Claudio, yet by mine honor I will deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
It is well consented. Presently away, for to strange swords strangely they stray here. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day perhaps is but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea. And I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your cousin is wronged.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as thee. Is not that strange?
As strange as the thing I know not, and yet it were as possible for me to say, I love nothing so much as you. And yet believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor deny nothing. I'm sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says, I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it, I protest, I love thee.
Or then God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You've stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy.
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height a villain that hath slandered, scorned, and dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man. What, bare hair in hand until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor, oh God, that I were a man who would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man out at a window, a proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Sweet hero, she's wrong, she's slandered, she's undone.
Beatrice.
Princes and counties, surely a princely testimony, a goodly count confect, a sweet gallant, surely, oh, that I were a man for his sake. or that I had any friend would be a man for my sake. But manhood is turned into curtsies, valor into compliment, and men are turned into tongue, and trim ones too. I cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, good Beatrice, by this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul the Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough, I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead, and so farewell.
Is our whole assembly appeared?
Oh, a stool and a cushion for the sexton.
Which be the malefactors?
Marry, that am I, and my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Borachio.
Pray, write down Borachio. And yours, Sira?
I'm a gentleman, and my name is Conrad.
Pray, write down Master Gentleman Conrad.
Master Constable, you must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yea, Mary, that is the eftest way. Let the watch come forth. Master, I charge you in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man, said sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down Prince John a villain. Why, that is flat perjury to call a prince's brother villain.
Master Constable.
Pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look. I promise thee.
What heard you him say else?
Mary, that he'd received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
Yea, by mass, that it is.
What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did mean upon his words to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, villain, thou wilt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
That is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this, suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonato's. I will go before and show him their examination.
Come, let them be opinioned.
Let them be in the hands.
You're an ass! You are an
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my ears? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass. But, masters, remember that I am an ass, though it be not written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. I am a wise fellow, and which is more, an officer, and which is more, a householder, and which is more as pretty a piece of flesh as any is in Messina, and one that knows the law. Bring him away. Oh, that I had been writ down an ass.
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself, and 'tis not wisdom thus to second grief against yourself.
I pray thee cease thy counsel, which falls upon my ears as profitless as water in a sieve.
Yet bend not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speakst reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me that Hero is belied, and that shall Claudio know, and so shall the prince, and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Here comes the prince and Claudio hastily.
Good e'en, good e'en.
Good day to both of you.
Hear you, my lords.
We have some haste, Leonardo.
Some haste, my lord. Well, fare you well, my lord. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good old man.
Oh, if he could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Marry, thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler thou. Nay, never lay thy hand upon thy sword. I fear thee not.
Mary, beshrew my hand. If it should at your age such cause of fear, and faith my hand meant nothing to my sword.
Tush, tush, man. Never fleer and jest at me. No, Claudio, to thy head. Thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slander hath gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where never scandal slept, save this of hers, framed by thy villainy.
Away! I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so daff me? Thou hast killed my child. If thou kill'st me, boy, thou shalt kill a man.
He shall kill two of us, and men indeed. Come, follow me, boy. Come, sir boy, come, follow me, sir boy. I'll whip you from your foining fence, nay, as a gentleman I will.
A brother.
Hold you content. What, man, deprave and slander, go antically and show outward hideousness, and speak off half a dozen dangerous words, how they might hurt their enemies if they durst, and this is all.
But brother Antony!
Come, 'tis no matter. Do not you meddle, let me deal in this.
Gentlemen both, we will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but on my honor, she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
My lord! My lord!
I will not hear you.
No? Come, brother, away. I will be heard.
And shall, or some of us will smart for it.
See, here comes the man we went to seek.
Now, signor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
What courage, man. What though care killed a cat, thou hast been enough in thee to kill care.
Sir, I will meet your wit in the career and you charge it against me. I pray you, choose another subject.
Nay, give him another staff, his last was broke cross.
By this light he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
If he be, he knows how to turn his girdle.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I might have good cheer.
What, a feast? A feast?
Faith, I thank him. He hath bid me to a calf's head and a capon, the which if I do not carve most curiously, say my knife's not. Shall I not find a woodcock too?
Fare you well, boy, you know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which God be thanked, hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother the bastard is fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my lord Lackbeard there, he and I shall meet, and until then, peace be with him.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest. I'll warn for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee?
Most sincerely.
What a pretty thing man is when he goes in his doublet and hose and leaves off his wit.
He's then a giant to an ape, but then is an ape a doctor to such a man.
But softy, let me be. Pluck out my heart and be sad. Did he not say my brother was fled?
Come you, sir, if justice cannot tame you, she shall ne'er weigh more reason in her balance. Nay, and you be a cursing hypocrite once, you must be looked to.
How now, two of my brother's men bound, Braccio one?
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers, what offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have verified unjust things. Secondarily, they are slanders. Sixth and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified untrue things. And, to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly, I ask thee what is their offense. Sixth, and lastly, why they are committed. And to conclude, what you lay to their charge.
Rightly reasoned in his own division, and by my troth, there's one meaning well suited.
Who have you offended, masters, that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
The sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. Do you hear me? And let this count kill me. I've deceived even your very eyes. These shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man, how your brother Don John incensed me to slander the lady Hero, how you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Hero's garments, how you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I had rather seal with my death and repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation. And briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I've drunk poison whilst he uttered it.
And did my brother set thee on to this?
Yea, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of this treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Sweet Hero, now thy semblance appear in the rare semblance that I loved at first.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonato of the matter. But, masters, do not forget to specify, when time and place shall serve, that I am an ass.
Here comes Master Signor Leonato and the sexton, too.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes. That when I note another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honourable men. A third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself, impose me in what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. It sinned I not, but in mistaking.
By my soul, nor I. And yet, to satisfy this good old man, I would bend under any heavy weight that he'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both, possess the people in Messina here how innocent she died. And if your love can labour aught in sad invention, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow morning come you to my house. And since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble sir, your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer and do henceforth dispose of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow then, I will expect your coming. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul was she not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke with me, but always hath been just and virtuous in anything that I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which indeed is not under black and white, this man here, the plaintiff, did call me ass. I pray you, let it be remembered in his punishment. And the watch heard them speak of one deformed. I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverent youth, and I praise God for you.
There's for thy pains.
God save the foundation!
Go. I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. God restore you to health. I wish your worship well. I humbly give you leave to depart.
Until tomorrow morning, lords. Farewell.
Farewell, my lords. We look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail.
Tonight no more with Hero.
Bring you those fellows on. We'll talk with Margaret how her acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
Pray thee, sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well at my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it, for, in most comely truth, thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me, why shall I always keep below stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth, it catches.
And yours is as blunt as the fencer's foils, which hit but hurt not.
A most manly wit, Margaret, it will not hurt a woman, and so, I pray thee, call Beatrice, I give thee the bucklers.
Give us the swords, we have bucklers of our own.
And if you use them, you must put in the pikes with a vice, and they are dangerous weapons for maids.
Well, I will call Beatrice, who I think have legs.
And therefore will come. The God of love that sits above and knows me, and knows me, how pitiful I deserve. I mean in singing, but in loving, Leander, the good swimmer, Troilus, the first employer of panders, and a whole book full of these quondam carpetmongers whose names yet run smoothly in the even road of a blank verse, why, they were never so truly turned over and over as my poor self in love. I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can find out no rhyme to lady but baby, for scorn, horn, and for school, fool, a babbling rhyme. Very ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor can I woo in festival terms. Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, signor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Then is spoken. Fare you well now. And yet, ere I go, let me go with what I came, which is with knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of his right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I must hear from him shortly, or I will subscribe him a coward. And now tell me, for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they would not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love, a good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart, if you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears not in this confession. There's not one wise man among 20 that will praise himself.
An old instance, Beatrice, that lived in the time of good neighbors. If a man do not, in this era, erect his own tomb ere he dies, he will live no longer in monument than the bell rings and the widow weeps.
And how long is that, think you?
Question, why, an hour in clamor and a quarter in room. Therefore, it is most expedient for the wise, if Don Worm, his grace, find no impediment to the contrary, to be the trumpet of his own virtues as I am to myself. So much for praising myself, who I myself will bear witness, is praiseworthy. And now tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. And there I will leave you, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle's, yonder's O'Coil at home. It is proved my lady Hero hath been falsely accused, the prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Don John is the author of all, who is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear his news, Signor?
I will live in your heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. And moreover, I will go with thee to thy uncle's.
Is this the monument of Leonardo's?
It is.
Done to death by slanderous tongues is the hero that here lies. Death, in guerdon of her wrongs, gives her fame which never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Hang thou there upon the tomb, praising her when I am down. Now unto thy bones, good night. Yearly will I do this right.
The wolves have prayed. And look, the gentle day before the wheels of Phoebus round about dapples the drowsy east with spots of gray. Come, let us go and put on other weeds, and then to Leonardo's we will go.
And Hymen now would like your issue speeds in this room we rendered up our well.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the prince and Claudio, who accused her upon the error you heard debated.
Well, I am glad that all things sort so well.
As am I, being else by faith enforced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
My daughter and the gentlewomen all withdraw into a chamber by themselves, and when I send for them, come hither masked. The prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. You know your office, brother. You must be father to your brother's daughter and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, Signor?
To bind me or undo me, one of the two. Signor Leonardo, truth it is, good signor, your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That I my daughter lent her. 'Tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from Claudio and the prince. But what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical, but as for my will is your good will. May this day stand with ours to be conjoined in the state of honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here come the prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my brother's daughter?
I'll hold my mind were she an Ethiop.
Dude!
What?
Call her forth, brother. Here's the friar ready.
Good morrow, Benedict. Why, what's the matter that you have such a February face, so full of frost, storm, and cloudiness?
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Tush, fear not, man, we'll tip thy horns with gold, and all Europa shall rejoice at thee as once Europa did at lusty Jove when he played the noble based in love.
Bull Jove, sir, had an amiable low, and some such strange bull leapt your father's cow and got a calf in that same noble feat. Much like to you, for you have just his bleat.
For this I owe you. Here comes other reckonings. Oh, which is the lady I must seize upon?
This same is she, and I do give you her.
Why then she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not, till you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand before this holy friar. I am your husband, if you like me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero!
Nothing certain, sir. One hero died defiled, but I do live, and surely as I live, I am a maid.
The former hero that is dead.
She died, my lord, but whiles her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify, when after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair hero's death.
Soft and fair, friar. Which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
You love me.
I know, no more than reason.
Why then, your uncle and the Prince and Claudio are much deceived. They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Troth, no more than reason.
Why then, my cousin Margaret and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
It's no such matter, then. You do not love me.
I know, but in truly recompense.
Come, cousin, I am sure you love the gentleman.
And I swear upon it that he loved her. For here's a paper written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another written my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedict.
A miracle! Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light, I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince, a college of witcrackers cannot flout me out of my right good humor. Dost thou think I care for a satire or an epigram? No, if a man will be beaten with brains, he will wear nothing handsome about him. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose the world can say against it, and therefore never flout at me for what I have said against it, for man is a giddy thing, and that is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but in that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised and love my cousin.
I had well hopes thou wouldst have had denied Beatrice, so that I might have cudgelled thee out of thy single life, to make thee a double dealer, which out of the question thou wilt be if my cousin do not look exceedingly narrow to thee.
Peace, peace, we are friends. Let's have a dance ere we are married, that we may lighten our own hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have dancing afterward.
First of my word, therefore play music. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife, get thee a wife. There is no staff more reverend than one tipped with horn.
My lord, your brother John is taken in flight and has brought with him armed men back to Messina.
Think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise thee brave punishments for him. Strike up, pipers.
Well, it ain't nobody but you, you're down. to the ground, let's dance, let's shout. Shake your body down to the ground, let's dance, let's shout. Shake your body down to the ground, let's dance, let's shout. Shake your body down to the ground, let's dance, let's shout.